Bridget Bartlett here. I am the CEO and founder of Vision Marketing and Design.com. Today we are live inside of my here. Sorry about that. I had to test the sound. I've been making that mistake lately. Anyway, so we are live inside of my training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today what we're going to do is actually part 9 of a training series, but we're kind of what we're working on is how to create a course funnel. Okay, using HighLevel. So HighLevel is the white label SaaS platform that I use inside of my agency. If you would like to create your own account at HighLevel, you can get a free 14-day trial at highlevel.visionmarketinganddesign.com. You can also click the link in the description to get a trial. With that, you get you actually get an account inside of my agency. So you're going to get access to all of the training, the Friday Q&A, all of the, we have over 85,000 PLR resources that you can use and brand as your own. This whole course funnel that we're creating right now, I'm actually going to give to you as well. Okay, so we have, tons of courses and all of that. So definitely check out HighLevel, create your trial, and we would love to have you on the team. Okay, so what we're going to do today is actually I'm going to show you a follow-up or like a workflow that has been working incredibly well for me within HighLevel. So one of the questions I get all the time is, this is great, these tools are great, but how do you get clients? How do you get people interested? And I've said this so many times, I've done so many trainings on this to answer this question, and still, even when people watch the training, sometimes they still ask me, so how do you get people interested, right? It all starts with value, right? So we're creating this course funnel. That is one way for sure to get clients, okay? But you have to reverse engineer, okay? So how do you want them to sign up for your business? Or maybe you have an affiliate offer, or maybe you're a lawyer and you need them to book consultations. Maybe you're a coach and you need consultations, or maybe you just want to promote affiliate offers. Well, booking a call is a great way to do that, because you can explain, just because it's affiliate marketing doesn't mean it's not a resource in your business. Okay, so what I do a lot of the times is I've actually kind of grown in my business to where I'm more at a consulting phase, right? So I'm outsourcing my agency work. I have a partner who's taking care of those things, and I love the teaching part. Okay, so what I love about consulting is that I have a smorgasbord of resources where I can meet you where you are. Okay, so maybe you're brand new at marketing and you just don't know where to start. Maybe you're an experienced agency owner and you're just looking to scale your business. No matter where you are, as a consultant, I can help you find the right solution. Okay, so my goal, my call to action for my business is to book a discovery call. Okay, side note, if you would like to book a discovery call, you can go to highlevel.visionmarketinganddesign.com to do that. So the goal of a funnel for me, and again, this just depends on your business structure, but most of the time in online sales, you want to take them offline, okay? You need to meet with them, whether it's Zoom, maybe if they're local, you want to maybe invite them to your office or your meeting, or meet them for lunch, or whatever this is, right? Maybe you want to just make a phone call. However you want to get it offline, to introduce yourself, to have a conversation, that is honestly the highest converting offer, right? Webinars are great. Live training is great. Courses are great. Lead magnets are great. Paid ads are great. But really the goal is to introduce yourself as a solution to their problem. Okay. So one of the things that I love to do, and I use, and we talked about this last Friday in the Q&A, I showed you exactly what I do for my social media. Okay. And I explained to you that I always create lead magnets. And lead magnets are just simply a free thing that you get for opting in. Okay, so this lead magnet is only going to be considered value to my target audience. Okay, so I can run paid ads, I can get organic traffic. If it's, the course that we're talking about right now is how to make money on Fiverr. Well, that is value to someone who's like a freelancer or maybe an agency owner or something like that who provides services on Fiverr, or maybe they're just interested in Fiverr and they've never really heard about it, but they're intrigued enough by my post or my video or my paid ad to go ahead, click on the link, and then opt in to the free guide. But then what happens after that, right? Another thing that people always tell me is, well, it's great. I'm doing solo ads and I'm sending lots of emails, but none of them convert. And the reason is because we don't buy from emails, right? We buy from people, right? So we need to be in front of these people. We need to be talking. We need to be answering questions. I don't know about you, but I'm never going to invest a lot of money for my business without getting my questions answered. And sometimes people have questions that are very specific that can't be answered in a webinar. So anyway, booking a call is absolutely by far the best way to introduce yourself and kind of speed up that know, like, and trust factor. So I do see that Val is here. Hello, Val. Val is my moderator. She is amazing. Floyd is here. Hello. Hello, Accent Webnet. Hello, Linwood and Maria. Nice to have you all here. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's just dive in to today's training. Okay, so this is actually my free guide workflow. This is my active workflow that I use, that has, honestly, I get about 10 to 20 appointments booked for discovery calls a week. So that has been really successful for me, and I convert about 90% of the time because I am putting, I'm creating videos, right? So, but most of the time when people are opting into something, whether it is a lead magnet or a course that I'm giving them or whatever it is, they're opting in, and it's likely because they've seen something that I've done, right? So I want to say, hey, if you're interested, let's go ahead and book a call, right? You opted in, you got the guide. The guide is my brand, right? So already it's like, I want to help you. Let me, I'm contacting you. I want to help you. Okay. So what I've done is, if you look on this form, this is a typical lead magnet. This is actually the opt-in page for our course, okay? Now, you don't have to have a complete course, okay? This could be just a free guide that you're giving. It doesn't really matter. Again, it's the same process. It can be if you're a pharmacy and you want to give a coupon for free delivery, that can be your lead magnet. If you are a health and wellness coach and you want to just straight up book a call, that can be your lead magnet. If you want to, if you are, into gold and silver, you could be, top 20 things to, that you must know about gold and silver. That could be your lead magnet. Whatever it is, you want to have some way of providing enough value that they will opt in, okay? So, like I said, it could be videos that you create that lead them to the lead magnet. Like, like if I was going to promote this lead magnet, I would be creating videos and I would post them everywhere about the top 5 ways that you can make bank on Fiverr without becoming a low-paid gig worker. Here's number 1, right? And then maybe I want to create a whole video about number 1 and say, hey, if you want to check out the other 4 ways, go ahead and click the link, right? So I hope you're understanding this process. I know a lot of people get really overwhelmed because they're like, well, what if it's this? And what if it's that? Or what if this is my business? Find a lead magnet, okay? It's the same process, whether you're using PLR products, you make it yourself, it doesn't matter, but you need to give them something of value to exchange for this email or their information, okay? So if they wanted this free guide, what they would do is click here and then they would enter their information, okay? So what happens after this, all right? Now, we can set up this whole sales funnel. They enter their information. They go to another page. Maybe it's an upsell. Maybe it's just a, hey, thank you, whatever. Do you want to book? Whatever is on the next page is really irrelevant, because once they fill out this form, we have the information in our CRM. Okay, so in your account. So whether you have your own HighLevel account or you are a client within my agency, it's going to be in your CRM. Okay, so they are now a contact. They've opted in with their information. They're now a contact. Now, if that form was any of these forms that I have listed here, okay, now what's going to happen is it's going to enter into this workflow. All right. So this person entered into this workflow. Now, you don't have to choose a form to be your trigger, okay? If I click here, you'll see that you actually have options. So it's CRM, Facebook, or Shopify. We now have a Shopify integration. We also have Facebook lead ads integration. So if you're doing Facebook lead ads or lead form ads, and you want to integrate that, or like I said, Shopify, you do have the ability to do that now. So now that we have chosen, where we want this trigger to come from, and we want it to come from our CRM, right? You can choose any of these, any of these triggers, all right? So when they set an appointment, is this what we're deciding right now is what is the first thing? Like, what's the thing that we want them to do that enters them into this workflow? Okay, so do I want them to enter into this workflow when they book an appointment? When it is their birthday? Do I want to, it depend on the call status, like actual phone calls, like inbound, outbound calls. When their contact data changes, like maybe if they change their phone number or something like that, I want to send them an email. Maybe when they type in stop or something, or I'm sending them emails and they're like, leave me alone, which honestly, I've never gotten that, but sometimes people will just type in stop. And then if you can actually build out workflows that when you say, when they type or they reply stop, mark them D&D. Okay, so D&D is basically do not disturb, do not contact. One thing that you do need to know about that, though, is if you mark them do not disturb, it's going to work for text messages and emails. So that's something that you want to consider. Do you want this workflow to start when the contact is tagged something? Okay, so maybe I want to have a specific tag for the Fiverr guide. Maybe I want a specific tag for the marketing guide or any of the other guides. Maybe I want to trigger it according to the tag. A custom date, customer booked appointment, customer replied, email events. We chose form submitted. So when you choose form submitted, you can actually choose the specific form, or you can just choose all forms. When a note is added, an opportunity status change, which opportunities are basically the steps within a pipeline. And we'll talk about pipelines this week also, but this is really, really crucial when it comes to like your sales processes. Okay, this is what makes HighLevel stand out above the other platforms. All right, because HighLevel and the ability to integrate these systems into this very simplified workflow is what is literally going to take your lead to an actual conversion, okay? Even if you choose to not do discovery calls, it doesn't matter. It's the personal follow-up. It's the disruptiveness. Somebody messaged me yesterday and said, I opted in for your free guide and then I got a phone call from you. That's amazing. It's like, it really is amazing. But that was her perception of that, right? It wasn't me thinking it's amazing. Of course, I think it's amazing. But it was her messaging me like, that's amazing that you can do that, We can also trigger if upon an order form submission. Okay, so maybe someone filled out the form on my on a page of my website or whatever. I can have this run according to the order form submission, and you can fine tune these. So once, like if I wanted to choose order form submission, I can add filters here, and it's going to pull in all the data from the order forms that I have. Okay, so do I want to choose an order form in a specific funnel or website? Do I want to choose the submission type? Like maybe I only want to choose this trigger if they have filled out the order form and it was a bump sell, or maybe it was an opt-in, or meaning they just filled out the form, but then when they went to the page to pay, they never actually paid, or maybe on an upsell. Okay, so I don't have to choose these options. I could just leave it order form, and then it's going to choose any order form in my whole account. Okay. You also have pipeline stage changed. Okay, so again, you can build out. People ask me all the time too, like, is HighLevel, do they do like project management? But because of the pipelines, like while it wasn't built for project management, because of the pipelines, you're able to build out those processes, and each stage in the pipeline would be like a stage in the process, right? So for example, client, like web design. Okay, so maybe you want to build out a pipeline that says customer agreed to the proposal, customer paid the proposal, we started the work, mock-up 1 was delivered, mock-up 2, mock-up 3, the project is live. Maybe you want to build out a whole pipeline like that, and then you can have it actually change according to the actions. Like maybe you want to assign like a tag or something like that. You can actually do that and then change the pipeline automatically. Okay, so super cool. I could literally go through this. Like you can see, there's quite a lot of products here, but I just want to let you know what it's capable of doing so that you are understanding when you are creating your sales funnels, creating these workflows, and automating a lot of these things. Just because we talked about the overview of the things that it can do, it will make you start thinking like, wow, I wish I could automate this. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I could, because the workflow will allow you to do that, right? Maybe you want to add a task to a contact or something. A task reminder, a trigger link clicked, and we're going to talk about trigger links also. Twilio validation error, like maybe there's a phone number that's invalid and we want to send a message. Category completed, new member sign up, offer access granted. Okay, so maybe they purchased the course and I want to send them into a workflow according to them getting access. Maybe access removed. Product access granted, product access removed, product completed. Okay, so maybe they completed a course or something. I wanted to send them an email. And then user login. So as soon as the user logs into a membership area, maybe your course or whatever, you can send them an email as well. Okay. So that can be when what we're doing here is we're deciding what's the thing that's going to make all these things we're building. What's the trigger for that? Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel here. So once we decide what's going to set off this trigger, or what's going to set off this workflow, then you can click here. Okay, so we're just going to start adding steps. All right, so you just would add a step like this, but I'm actually going to cancel this. So what I did here is when someone opts in, okay, what I want to do is the goal is to change the opportunity, right, inside of my pipeline. And then I want it to basically decide. I don't want it to send the information about booking a call and all of these things to people who are already in the program. Okay. So I want to make sure that is not going out to those people. Like maybe, if you guys are in my program and you're on my social media and I release a new guide and you want to opt in, obviously I don't want to send you an email saying, hey, you want to book a call? Because these are like for new people, right? You guys already know how to get a hold of me. So what I want to do is I want to create a condition. So this uses like AI technology to decide, here's the condition. All right. So I do not want for the yes, okay, so to continue through this workflow, I do not want the people who are tagged with these specific tags, I do not want them to continue through the workflow, okay? So if they meet that condition, meaning they do not have those tags, they're going to continue down this flow, okay? But if they do, or if they do, yeah, if they have those tags, all right, it's just going to go over here to no, and then nothing is going to happen, right? And the reason that nothing is going to happen is because I do live training Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, I always send emails to let you know like what we're going to be talking about that day, how to, access the training and things like that. So that is my main source of communication. So I don't need to bother them with more emails and all of these things. I just want to say no, and they can just have the free guide. They're already in my list, so no worries. All right. But if they do meet that condition, meaning they do not have these tags, okay, what's going to happen is we're going to create an opportunity within this pipeline. Okay, so I have a sales pipeline. There are multiple stages within the pipeline. So I'm going to choose the pipeline that I want to add them to. Okay, so these are all my pipelines, and I'm going to choose which one I want to add this lead to if they have met this condition. All right, meaning they do not have those certain tags. So they're going here. We're creating an opportunity. They're going to be a new lead. Okay, so here are the stages within the leads booking pipeline. So I need to decide, what do I want to call this? What stage are they going to be in when they reach this workflow? So it's going to be new leads, and then I want to choose an opportunity to name. Now I usually just choose the custom values. So I'm going to go here, choose custom values, and since it's a contact, I'm just going to choose their name. Okay, so I'm going to choose the first name, and when you choose that first name, the tag will be here. Same thing for source. I put the source there because I want to know where did they come into the workflow at, right? I can also assign a value to this lead if I wanted to do that. And then you could choose a status. So with this workflow, if they opt in and if they meet this condition and we create an opportunity, is that an open opportunity? Does this mean that we won the opportunity? Mean like they're our client now, that we lost the opportunity, or just abandoned? Okay, so we can actually set a status there. I'm going to say open because we've not presented an opportunity yet. So we're still open, right? And then you can also choose to allow them to move to a previous stage or duplicate opportunities. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cancel. Okay, so once we've done all of that, and this takes place like instantly, okay? So they opt in, it immediately goes here, the system decides, do they meet the condition? Yes. Do they meet the condition? No. It's going to create an opportunity, and then I have it instantly sending an email. Okay, so what is the action name? I'm going to call it download free guide so that I know what step this is in the workflow. And, this is all self-explanatory, the location name, and these are all tags. I can choose templates if I want to, if I had one created, but I'm just going to send this email, right? So congrats on claiming your copy of my new guide. And then I'm going to add there the custom value here to be, autofill their first name. And then I'm going to say, now let's get you booked for a discovery call so I can help you reach the next level with your business. So whether you're a DIY solution or you want an experienced and reliable agency to take care of your marketing for you, Vision Marketing and Design is the answer. Book your discovery call today. And I have my trigger link here. This is actually my booking link, but when you create a trigger link, like I said, I'll talk to you about this more another day, but once you create a trigger link, it's basically just your standard link. So it's my Zoom or my booking link, the URL to the page where my booking calendar is, but I created a trigger link because I want, when they click that link, I want it to trigger another event, okay? So that's why I have a trigger link there. And let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. Bridget Bartlett, and then it adds my location name. All right. So so what's going on now? they have filled out the form and they received an email. So we have all these things going on behind the scenes they don't know about. They just know they opted in, they got the free guide, and they received an email asking if they want to book an appointment. Okay. But also, they received a text message. Okay, congrats on claiming your copy of my new guide. The next step is to get you booked for a free discovery call. Is now a good time to grab a date and time that works for you? Okay, that's important because if you send a text message with a link included, it may get flagged, and it's kind of like spam in an email, right? So it might just like get rejected, and it might do damage to your phone number. It might go to spam or something, whatever. So you do want to, ask them, is now a good time to grab a date and time that works for you? Okay. And then you want to wait 2 minutes, okay? Because if they instantly reply, it's another thing. You might get dinged. So we want to wait 2 minutes, okay? You typically want to wait at least 2 minutes in between text messages because, one, it kind of gives the impression, like when you get it instantly, it's like, oh, that's kind of like spammy. It's probably not even a real person. So the phone system can tell that, the client can tell that, so it just kind of seems spammy. So definitely wait 2 minutes there, okay? So we're going to wait 2 minutes after they have received that. Now, we're going to create a condition here, all right? Did they reply to the email, all right? So so this is a conditional step, all right? Just like before, did it include these tags? Did it not include these tags? Now we're saying, did they respond to the text message? So the contact replied yes, okay? So if they replied yes, we are going to send them this message. Okay, so it says, did they reply? Yes. Was the reply positive? That's where the AI comes in. Was it positive? So did they say, sure, yes, wonderful, yes, I'd be excited, or whatever it is? So was it a positive reply? The AI is going to tell you that. If it was a positive reply, then we're going to send them this message. Great, here's the link to book. Grab any time and day that works for you. Okay, so when they click this link, it's going to trigger another workflow that we'll talk about again another day. If it was no, okay, you can actually send internal notifications, all right? So it will actually pop up anywhere, right? You can actually, if you do the internal notification, it will actually show up like in the dashboard in the little, the messages tab. And then this is what it will say. Okay, so this would be the internal notification. It would let me know, like, hey, this person did not respond. So maybe I want to immediately address that. Maybe I want to make them D&D, or maybe I want to call them, or whatever your system is. Okay. Now, did they reply to the SMS? No. Okay, so they did not reply. What I can do is actually send them a voicemail. Okay, so I can say, hey, I saw you just got my free guide. Now, keep in mind, this is a ringless voicemail. Okay, so it's not going, if you don't know what a ringless voicemail is, have you ever gotten a voicemail and you're like, that's really weird because my phone didn't even ring? That's a ringless voicemail. So you can actually send a ringless voicemail, and you can say, hey, sorry I missed you. I saw you opted in for the free guide. I didn't know, or you could say, this actually qualifies you for a free discovery call. I would love to see how I can help you take your business to the next level, right? So you can say all of that. And then you want to choose to wait, right? So I'm going to wait a day. I'm going to see if they respond. And then I'm going to send them this email. Like, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you about booking a meeting to discuss your business. I realize your time is as valuable as mine, so I wanted to send you my booking link to choose a good day and time that works best for you. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? So that's basically the workflow. So what's going to happen is, right, to them, they're opting in to get the free guide. They're getting a text message from me, and they're going to get a phone call, right? Depending on however they respond to the text message. All right. That is basically the gist of the whole workflow, of how I am able to get so many appointments. It's not rocket science, right? We know as marketers, we know the power in this. We know the power in being able to segment these workflows according to our lead or our client's actions, okay? Because we don't want to, with emails, you're very limited. You send an email and then it's like, hopefully they open it, hopefully they don't, hopefully it lands in the inbox, hopefully it doesn't land in spam, and then it's like you're kind of stuck to just relying on that. But what this system allows you to do is not only send an email, but it also allows you to create opportunities within your sales pipeline and then track all of that. You can send text messages and emails and ringless voicemails, and you can also incorporate the AI to help you kind of streamline those things based on the client's actions. Because look, if they don't respond to the text message, I don't want to keep sending them more text messages. Okay. And then it used to be that when you send a text message and you wanted them to, like, if they responded, you used to have to like type in specific words like stop or cancel or whatever. And you had to like really think about what are all the words they may want to use to tell me to stop, because I don't want them marking my number as spam, and I don't want them to be bothered by my attempts to contact them. If they're not interested, they're not, right? I just want to, we're moving on, right? This is all automated. Okay. So anyway, that is the basic gist of that. So let's go ahead. If you guys are in your sub account, you are only going to see workflows. You're not going to see campaigns and triggers, because this is only on the admin level, and all of your campaigns and triggers can be built in the workflow. Okay, so let's go ahead and just like create a workflow. So I'm going to start from scratch here, and then I'm going to go to create new workflow. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Okay, I don't see any questions. That's cool. Nice. Yay, gold and silver. I knew you'd like that, Maria. Let me go ahead and just block the spammer. I honestly kind of get joy out of marking people spam who like to come into your live and then put all their crap. So it's silly fun to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's create a trigger. All right. So this one's going to be very simple. However, let me definitely go back here. I want you to notice when you do create trigger, you do have these recipes that you can use already. Okay. So we have the recipe Fast 5. So it's the odds of closing a deal decrease dramatically after 5 minutes. This workflow delivers the ultimate first 5-minute lead nurture. You also have the send review request. So you may have built into your pipeline a certain stage, like maybe in the pipeline when it gets to your website is live, maybe I want that to trigger a send review request, right? Because if we've already served them, they were happy with the service, I want to send them a review request, because agencies, for some reason, people don't think that agencies need to have reviews too. And yes, we do. Better to have them on Google because that helps you get found, right? So definitely need to have reviews, but we can automate all of this. And again, we can automate that for our clients as well, not just our business. Recipes for appointment confirmation plus reminder, auto missed callback text. That's great, because if someone calls your business and you don't get, especially if you're like a solo entrepreneur, you can't always, just be on the phones all the time. But if someone does call your business, you can actually automatically send them a text message and say, so sorry we missed you, how can I help you, or something like that. You can also have, like, when inbound Facebook message is waiting, reply and remove pending tag, or it will prompt the lead to share phone number in 30 minutes. Okay, so this does integrate with your Facebook Messenger, Google My Business, Instagram, You can also create a birthday template so that you can send your clients a happy birthday. List reactivation. So it says an incredible way to generate leads for any business with a list requires no ad spend and AI filters positive responses. So if you're trying to, if you have a client that has like a cold list, or if you have a cold list, this is a great way of getting them reactivated. Appointment booking. So when it comes time, you're at the stage where your call to action is to book appointments. You definitely need to have a follow-up process to remind them of the appointment, and then after the appointment, to follow up, and then also maybe a no-show campaign where you can send them messages if they couldn't show up, right? So here's one for Google My Business, and these are in everyone's account. Okay, these are just basically recipes, I guess. So let's go ahead and just start from scratch here. So let's go to create new. All right. So now we need our new workflow trigger. So I'm just going to choose, let's just say a form. We'll just make this super simple. And I'm going to choose to add filters because I want this workflow to trigger for a specific form. Okay. So I'm going to choose form is, and then I'm going to, let's search for, let's see if I have a specific one. So let's say when they get my Google My Business guide, when they fill out that form for the Google My Business guide, this is what I want to be the trigger for this workflow. So I'm going to fill that out there. Now, what do I want to happen? Okay, I'm going to click here. So as soon as they fill out the form, I likely want to send them an email. Okay, so I'm going to say email, and then I'm going to say put my from name here, or it will default to the settings. And then I can put the from email, or it will default to these settings here. I can add a subject line like thank you for, or let's say download, and then we'll say free download. Let's say Google My Business Guide. And again, you can choose templates. You can type whatever your message is here. You could add links to it if you wanted to. If you wanted them to actually have to go to the email, click in there to get their free guide, you would want to fill that all out here. Okay, so that's just a typical email. And then, of course, you can add attachments. You can test it out here as well. Okay, let's go ahead and I should have just done this. So we'll just do test. Let's do save action. It will say test. Okay. And then let's say we want to send them. Do we want to call them? Okay. We can actually call them, and we can type in here, the call whisper is the message that you're going to get to your cell phone. Okay. So remember, within HighLevel, we have our business phone number, like our Twilio generated phone number, and then we have that phone number inside the user account. That phone number is forwarding to our cell phone numbers or our office phone numbers, okay? But how do you tell where the call's coming from? You can actually say, you have a phone call, like we can type it out here. You have a phone call from someone who opted into your GMB guide form. Okay, so now when this happens, it's going to call my phone, my cell phone, and it's going to say, you have a phone call from someone who opted in to your Google My Business Guide form. And then you can choose a timeout. So do I want it to instantly time out, or do I want it to let it ring a little bit? You can also disable voicemail detect. Okay. So if you don't want it to, if it says here, when a call connects, we by default try to understand if the person answered or if it's voicemail. This creates a slight delay in the call connection, but if you have stop on reply turned on and it is determined that a voicemail is answered, the contact will continue in the workflow. Toggling this on will disable the voicemail detection, eliminating the delay. But if stop on reply is on and voicemail detection is off, the workflow will be stopped. when either a person or voicemail answers. It's recommended to add a call timeout of less than 20 seconds when disabling voicemail detection to ensure the call is dropped before voicemail picks up. Okay, so you do have that option as well. Let's just say we want it to instantly do that. Now, maybe I don't want them to call. Okay, so let's delete this. Maybe I'm like, look, I don't have time for this. I'm just trying to, I got a campaign running and the phone is driving me crazy. I just don't have time for all that. So maybe you want to do a voicemail. Okay, so you can actually record on your phone. I actually have an app on my phone where I just record and then I download and then upload that file. Okay, so what's going to happen now is as soon as they submit the form, they're going to receive an email. And then if I choose this option here, then it's going to, like, let me see. I don't think I have a file to upload, but if I chose this, then it would instantly call them. But maybe what I want to do is I send them an email, but maybe I want to wait a day before I call, right? So what you can do is go down here and where's the wait? There is an option here. Oh, maybe I'm not seeing it because it's not an option. I think it's not. So let's do, oh, I see why. Okay, so let's type in here and then we'll go to send a text message, or not manual. Let's do send SMS. Okay, and then here's the message. We just want to say test and then save action. Okay, but maybe here we want to wait. So let me see where my wait. Oh, here we go. So now we see it. So maybe we want to wait a day, right? So we can wait minutes, we can wait hours or days. So let's say we want to wait a day before sending that text. Or yeah. So right now, form submitted. We send an email instantly. We wait a day and then we send them this text message. All right. Maybe we send them the text and we also want to send them a voicemail. Maybe we want to choose Facebook Messenger. Maybe we want to send them to another workflow. Maybe we want to grant them an offer or trigger the Facebook conversion API. Maybe we want to update the contact field, add to Google AdWords, add to analytics. They have a Eliza agent, which is like an AI customer service person, add a task. So we can choose any of these that we want to do. Okay. Really unlimited possibilities. Now, the cool thing is too, is that once you have this whole workflow designed however you want to, you have these settings here, which are really simple to fill out. It's always going to default to whatever the account login is. But if you want to override that, you can do that here. Okay. So do you want to send anytime? So allows the message to be sent from this workflow at any time, or maybe you want to choose a specific time. Okay. So this is important too, because sometimes you have people in other countries who opt in at like 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't really want to call them at 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. Or maybe you, you know, it's you only want to have office hours because how you've set it up is where they're going to call you. And then when you do the call whisper, it's going to basically connect you with the customer. So while that's ringing, or it's going to say, you have a call from so-and-so, and then you have to press 1, and then it will ring their phone. Okay, so if I have my workflow set up like that, I need it to be in my normal working office hours. Otherwise, that's really bad customer service to say, do you want to connect a call? And then it's like, I can't call because I'm sleeping at 2 a.m., right? You can also set the defaults for the sender address, allow a single contact to enter the workflow more than once, stop on response, conversation management. So you do have some options here. Okay. The history is the coolest part. All right. Let me actually go to, I'm going to move this over here. I want to show you like an active workflow, but I don't want to show you the actual information from the customers, okay? Because or the client information. So let me move this. I'm trying to find a way to show you without showing you, actually. So here's what we're going to do. Oops, not there. All right, so what I'm going to do is stop sharing my screen. Let me move this over the private information because I want to show you how this works. All right. All right, so this is actually a live campaign that's going right now. And I wanted to show you, it's like you have the information, all right? Because one of the things about setting up a system like this and being able to track things, that's so crucial, right? You need to know, one, especially if you're doing this for clients, like, is there a problem with the workflow? If there is, you can look in the history and you can tell, like, oh, this failed. So I need to look into that, right? You'll also be able to tell, like, when it says waiting, this person is in the workflow, but they're in the middle of it, right? So they're not completed because there's still like a step that, maybe it said wait 24 hours to send them this text message. And so they're in that waiting period. This one said failed, need to look into that. Wait finished, waiting, there's an error. But this one says executed, and then added to workflow. Okay, so at the end of this workflow, it's like, once they get to this point, just add them to this, right? So that's how we kind of have that set up. Let me stop sharing now, or actually, stop sharing. Let's go to the next one so I can show you that. Okay, so here is in the status. Okay, so again, with status, you can tell, where this person is. For one, you can make sure that they actually ended up in the workflow, especially something that I am trying to fine tune is my booking reminders. So if it didn't, as you're working on campaigns, you need to know if they're firing, if they're working, functioning properly. So being able to go to a specific person or look in the status, I can tell who's actually still in the workflow, right? And here's the emails, and then I can tell that they actually finished the campaign. Okay, so let me stop sharing again. And then one of the cool things here is when you're actually looking at your workflow, like I can tell here that there are 2 people in this stage right now. Okay, so this tells me like that this workflow is working, but there's also 2 people in the waiting stage here. Okay, so that is just super, super important. And you guys will understand like more about how important this is when we get into sales and pipelines. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, because being able to create this workflow and basically piece together all the amazing tools that we have inside of HighLevel to work together for the conversion, right? That's what we're all looking for, is that conversion. It's taking someone who's just interested in your free guide, getting them to book an appointment, and then turning them into an actual sale, right? An actual client. That's what we're all trying to do. I don't see that I have any questions. So let me just stop sharing here. So hopefully you have found some value in today's training. There's so much to learn, so much to go over with the workflows, because they're so powerful. Really, they're so powerful. I have never, before coming to HighLevel, I have never had higher conversions than I have now. So it's not just the workflow part, but it's also just the way that it all works together, the excitement of the platform. When you look at this, when you're an online marketer and you look at this, you see the power in that, right? Because that's a level of service that most people just are not doing. So when someone, it's like the comment that I got, Karen, shout out to Karen. The comment that I got from Karen is like, wow, that was so cool that she said, I knew it was you. I didn't even listen to the message, but She's like, I was at the hospital visiting my mom and I just thought, wow, that's so cool. I just opted in for the guide and then you called me. That's awesome. But that's the impression, right? You're on your game. And even when we're talking about affiliate marketing, it's like, wow, she has a system set up like this. That's really awesome. And I think that that could really help me in my business, right? That's how we think. We're business people. So thank you again so much for joining me. I don't have any questions, so I will see you all tomorrow. We're going to talk about pipelines and opportunities. We're going to build a pipeline and then a workflow, and I'm going to show you how that all integrates together. So I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality.